CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode.
We're supposed to be rescuing civilians from inside.
Please remember, you are smarter than everybody else in the room, and you care more than everybody else in the room.
Is this really, what you want to be doing?
Is this worth you dying over?
I feel like fuck my other plan. I gotta take on the Baron.
Cool, we need space. I'm gonna make space.
Marigold, what are you going to do to try and convince people to get on this ship?
This is me using my contacts
Yeah.
to organize the people around them. I mean, most of them, don't know each other, but they are in other groups.
Are we doing a flashback to your team knows when you come in to give the signal to get everybody, if you want to get out of here, get on this ship or whatever kind of thing? Or I would say it's zero stress. I just don't feel like we use flashbacks enough.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. It was probably one of the things that I was able to communicate when I talked to them before. Hey, we're coming in. Make sure nobody's on the east side or whatever. On the back side. We'll be coming through that.
Right. Get people out of Artist Alley. And when you see any of my bodies, start telling people to follow us or whatever. Okay, so this sounds to me like what we're actually doing here is a flashback consort to have set that up ahead of time, right?
You got it. Sounds good.
And you can still get help and everything on this. This is not. I think this is against Calaz Clash and not against Goliath itself. So this one's starting at risking limited instead of risky none. You have 3 in consort. Tell me more about what you want to do next, then.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm going to just start a clock called successful evacuation. And that just means the civilians are on the ship. And then, we're going to probably have to get the ship out of here too.
Cool. All right. Let me take a look at.
Okay. For 2 stress?
Add 2 more stress.
What effect would you like from that?
Yeah. To increase the effect, actually. Can I coordinate my bodies as a small gang? No. I think I'll do the assist thing, because small gang is usually for fighting. It doesn't really come into play as much for organizing people to get
I would say this. I think this. If you push yourself to to be a small gang in this instance, I would say, given that you're coordinating multiple people, that would give you increased effect. I think.
Okay.
But I don't think you can
great.
also. I think you would have to use the push yourself for something else, like a die or a positioning.
That's fine. We'll do it for a die, and I am going to go ahead and take the 2 out of the prediction pool.
Which omen are you seeing?
Use these fancy new rules. Where do we have the omens listed?
Oh, you want to use
on
one
the
of the lower
sheet.
ones to get some stress back.
You have bloodstained golden tassels twisted into knots, and the smell of mint, burning rubber, and caramel.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to use that last one, and I think it's I'm going to say the smell of that is what's triggering this flashback, right? In the show version of it or whatever.
Right. We would see some sort of indication of the scent in both right? It's like the
now and back then. Yeah. Basically, it's like this coffee tea shop is being like smashed into by our ship to save people,
totally.
And it's like creating all these like awful.
Which number from the pool are you taking?
2. I already removed
2.
it.
Oh, a 2. Okay, so you're getting 2 stress back?
Yeah.
That's pretty smart. Pretty smart, Mary. Okay, let's do it. We're burning pod here. So, so you pushed yourself for what, an extra die, and to get the small gang to give yourself better effect as a side effect, right?
Yeah.
So that got us up to 46 risky standard.
Yep, that's it.
And then we're dropping one of those dice effectively by turning it into a 2. So you're going to be rolling 3d6 risky standard. Do you want to drop to desperate great?
Oh, holy shit. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Give yourself a tick of resolve and roll 3d6 and roll 6s and never die.
That's right.
Roll 6s, never die.
Got a 4.
Wow. You didn't listen to the never die part. All right. Well, good news. You do get to take the 2 stress off for taking the 2. Mm-hmm. Second good news is this does work to an extent. You do get the great success, right? So that's 3 ticks on this clock. Like so the people you had, the plants you had in the crowd are effective at organizing people, and people do immediately begin streaming onto the ship. However, I'm going to hit you hard because this is a desperate consequence. I am going to say that several of the 2-meter tall CalazCon Avi drones, so the person-sized ones, not the I don't know if there are mech scale ones, descend on you because the Baron has not quite been dealt with, right? And the Baron is also keeping these people here against their will, even if the security staff is now convinced that they shouldn't, tangle with you.
Uh-huh.
So that's one consequence. There are now several 2-meter tall drones, so I'm going to put a new 6-step clock for drones on the map. Now, these drones also fight as a small gang, so finding them on equal footing probably also helps to do that. So that I would say counts as a level 1 consequence. I'm going to now give you in addition a level 2 harm as one of these CalazCon drones, fires a laser blast or something at body 2. You're going to take the level 2 harm. Although I guess when you would suffer level 2 or 3 harm, it becomes level 1 instead. Okay. So you take a level 1 harm, then blasted.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't been hammered at a convention, right?
I don't drink at conventions, but I'm weird, maybe.
Last time I was at Gen Con, I had actual bootleg moonshine from Kentucky.
Oh my god. Amazing.
I love bootleg moonshine, but I prefer mine from the mountains of North Georgia.
The last bootleg moonshine I had was from Russia. So that's one of my
rules.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's keep it on track here. Adrian, the Baron is recovering and begins fighting back against Detail. What do you do?
So I'm at desperate now?
No, you're not at desperate. Well, you're at desperate if you're using your hack rig. Yes.
Yeah. Which is all I can really do. So
I guess that's true. I mean, I don't know. You could run away from him or kick someone in the nuts or something. I don't know.
Adrian steps out of the Rye Recluse with like a machine gun. Is like, all right,
say hello.
You had this the whole time? Yeah.
Adrian steps out of the Rye Recluse with a book because they've got 3 dice and study.
I'm here to chew bubblegum and whatever.
and whatever. Exactly.
No, I'm gonna continue to try to hack, just in desperate mode.
Are you hacking against the Baron still, or are you gonna take care of the bugs? Because as long as you've got that bugs clock, like you don't have to remove that bugs clock, but as long as it's there, that's what's making you desperate, right?
What would I have to do to remove the bugs?
Fill the 4-step clock.
Well, Why would I fill a 4-step clock when I can fill a three more steps
I
of a
totally
6-step
agree.
clock?
I'm just saying that means the next time you have to use, you know what I mean? Yeah. I agree with you. I would finish the boss first and then deal with the ads after.
Okay.
But I just wanted to know like which you wanted to do because they're both valid.
So I start at 3d6 desperate nothing.
Yes, that's correct.
Excellent. Well, gotta push myself.
Yeah. You could also take a 2 or a 3 from the pool to get some stress back. But you are also reckless and paranoid, so I don't know. I don't know what you're doing.
What was the other omen?
Yeah, what is the last omen?
The last omen is bloodstained golden tassels tied in twisted knots.
Is there any chance of getting help here to finish the Baron?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. I know how to complete this.
Okay.
So I'll take Winter's help if it can be provided.
Yep.
And I'm going to take the same things I took last time. I'm going to take effect and position.
Okay.
So I pushed myself for one effect. I'm going to get a second effect from Winter's help, and then I'm going to get a third effect from going up to risky and then back down to desperate.
Okay. So that gets you up to great effect?
Yes, which I
Okay.
need to complete this clock. And I will take a 6. If that's cool with everybody.
It's up to Lauren, I guess.
It's actually not. You could just take whatever. I don't really get a choice.
Okay. All right. Well, I just mean for my fellow players.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind. Take whatever you need.
I'm taking the omen to defeat the boss that is holding the captives.
Totally.
Yeah. I think that's a
pretty big
reasonable
deal.
use of the 6. Yeah, okay. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to take like a 2, to get, 2 stress back.
There's no 2s left.
Oh, there aren't. Okay. I am.
Here's the thing. The more we succeed, the less we need to worry about anything later.
That's actually true. It's very forward.
If we can get in and get out, then who cares?
Oh,
if we have
I
resources
see. There's
left?
only 4,
It
5,
turns
and
out
6
there's less
left.
consequences.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
You're
you
welcome.
only get to roll 2 actual dice, though, right?
But yeah, I might crit.
Yeah, you
Who
might.
could say? Not
You absolutely could. All right. Give it to me.
3 and a 1. Glad I took the
Okay,
6.
glad you took the 6. All right, so I'm going to say, you disperse the Baron's proxy. I'm going to say 4 now.
Can I narrate that though?
Yeah, absolutely. But just as a quick note, like before you narrate it, I want to leave the door open for it to not necessarily be permanently defeated, right? Like I'm probably not going to bring him back this mission, but there may be like the other teams that are in other parts of Goliath might need to use the Baron. So just keep that in mind when narrating. Now go for it.
Okay, so what was that omen again? It was like twisted tassels or something.
It was bloodstained golden tassels twisted into knots.
Well, the Baron probably has tassels, right?
I think he'd be a poor Baron if he didn't have tassels.
Yeah, sure. He's got tassels if you want him to. I don't care. It's not like I have a costuming director I have to run this by.
Yeah, he's got like an undershirt that has a bunch of like weird tassels.
He's an
on
AI
it.
construct. He could be changing his clothes from second to second. So whatever you need him to be wearing in this scene, it's either from a show or it's from a fan art or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Go for it.
And I'm taking this opportunity to invent another weird guy, but
I love weird guys.
So Dieter Cumulus and Baron Bastardo are having their epic duel, and then when he's least expecting it, from behind is Dr. Sword.
Dr. Sword. Oh God.
Sword.
And Dr. Sword was once the Baron's like right-hand man. But we see the sword, Dr. Sword's titular sword, go through the Baron's back, bloodying the tassels, ripping them. The sword emerges from his chest from behind. And then Dieter Cumulus and Dr. Sword kiss as the Baron dies in front of them.
Hell yeah.
This is not from the show. This is from Gishlak's fan fiction because Adrian doesn't actually know the show.
Oh my God. This is amazing. Okay. Okay. All right. Now in the canon is Dr. Sword also like a traitor? Is that part of his arc?
I think Dr. Sword is one of those guys that's like sometimes working with the bad guys, sometimes working with the good guys. You can never really know whose side Dr. Sword is on.
An opportunist.
We gotta be, creating more Calazar canon, right? I mean, I know it's the last
I do it at every chance.
You do. I appreciate that about you. All right, I gotta write this down. After running...
Yeah. The Dieter Cumulus X Dr. Sword fanfic pops off.
I love that you refuse to watch the show, but you will be on the AO3 forums for it.
Hey, I need it for work.
Yeah, gets all their knowledge. They just, it's just Edrian just finds reading easier than watching.
The hardest of air quotes.
Consuming, visual media takes time, whereas Edrian's a very fast reader, right? I would imagine that's their justification.
The hardest of air quotes for work.
This is amazing. I love this game. I love all of you. Okay. Yes, the Baron is defeated, and as that scene plays out, the Baron's body sort of dissipates into light, in as an AR construct, like you do when you're an AR construct.
Like a Mega Man villain.
You've now cleared the Baron, but the drones are still here trying to detain the civilians. But all 4 of you are in the same place. Koa, you're definitely in a position to hop out of the cockpit and help real quick if you want to.
Could I, because I just got this move, could I spend 2 stress to
use a
direct...
Squad? Oh.
Yeah, so this is rally in my special abilities.
Oh.
So spend 2 stress to do one of the following. Direct an unaffiliated crowd to perform an action. Have an unaffiliated crowd commit violence or prevent an unaffiliated crowd from causing damage. So I'd like to use the first choice to direct an unaffiliated crowd into getting onto the ship.
Absolutely, you can do that, but I will warn you, if you do that without doing something to fill that drone's clock first, civilians will take casualties from the drones trying to stop them from escaping. You will not fail the mission, but you will violate your rules of engagement. I'm sorry, I got confused because there's a 4-step for drones and a 6-step for drones. Sorry, I'm gonna show that I'm gonna mark this out. This was the set of drones that was right there as soon as you breached.
Gotcha.
And then this new one are the ones that were summoned by one of the consequences from Winter's mixed success.
Could I somehow use my busted mech in the last ditch effort? Could I sacrifice the tactician slate in order to take care of the drones?
Tell me how. And the answer is sure, if you tell me how.
The drones have to be getting controlled somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could I use the core in my Avi in order to just get the tactician slate there and then blow it up?
Yes. Again, how are you doing that? Are you wiring up the thing to be a bomb, essentially?
So flashback.
Yes. Okay, I like where this is going.
That's what Adrian and I were working on right before I started piloting the ship. We had wired it to explode.
Okay. How are you going to get it to the place you need it to be? Because hold on, I got to see where ops for that is. I think that would be in the maintenance engineering area where Pizza did their mission.
Okay, so I cannot do that.
Yeah, I just to be safe. I like the idea. If it wasn't, you know what I mean? If circumstances weren't what they are, I would.
Could I turn?
Absolutely say yes.
No. Wait. I was gonna say, could I have turned the tactician slate into an EMP? But then that screws all of us.
Maybe.
Could I have turned it into a directional EMP?
Yes. That's gonna be probably an engineer role for that, right? In a flashback.
Who has a good engineer, y'all? Oh, I have one. I have one in the engineer.
Sure. Yeah. This would be an engineer, technically this I think would be a flashback because it would be about how good you had done the EMP and how well you had directed it. Yeah. Was anybody helping you do this?
Would Adrian be the one who helped?
It could have been, because it's a flashback, it could be anyone. And I do want to point out, I think Marigold still has that hold to give a person help for one, or did you already spend that?
I did it. I used it.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm at 8 of 9 stress, so.
Yeah, so probably
it
not
be-
Adrian.
I can still help.
No, wait, no, because Calico's still super stressed out, right? So it can't be Calico.
Yeah, so it sounds like it has
Calico's
to be
not
Winter.
super stressed.
I want it to be Calico
Okay.
Okay.
because while we're working on this, I want to apologize.
Oh. All right, yeah, let's get that scene.
So is this like us in the? This is where's this This is a flashback. Where's it at?
This is probably at school.
Right. So are we
Like,
like
this is
out
like-
in the yard, where our Avies have traditionally been working on this.
Yeah, you would have been working, in like wherever your typical mech hangar is, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it gets very quiet between the both of them because they haven't had too many scenes together since like their blow up fight about the cannon, which which Calico was right about.
You mean that time Calico almost shot you?
Yeah. I mean,
With
technically,
a beam rifle?
technically, Calico was right. They did use it as a weapon, right?
Yeah.
And I feel awful about that. But I think
Bro.
Oh.
and I think what he says in the quiet is, I think about this a lot, and I really do believe we're both on the same side.
Calico like puts down a wrench, looks up. I know we're on the same side.
And sometimes I'm not a good leader. Sometimes I'm not a good father. Sometimes I'm not a good friend.
I don't know if I'd agree with all of that. You are a good father.
Roasted.
But something that I know that I'm not very good at is I'm not a very good symbol. I'm not a very good revolutionary. And I think that when you are acting as that symbol, it's something to aspire to. And I wanted to say that I'm sorry for being wrong. I'm sorry for not understanding your position.
Huh. I think that this is because this is the flashback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
to,
this is
to
the
what
flashback.
to what we to like. Oh, because this is good because there's a sense in which this scene is a flashback for Koa, but everything that's happening right now is a flash forward.
Yeah.
For
Calico. This is fucked
And,
up.
again, looking at my connections, Nakoa will let us die to save his daughter. I've seen it. I will fend for myself around him. And Koa's cheerful disposition will not save them from their fate. And so you said that sorry, could you give me that last line one more time?
I'm sorry for not understanding your position.
I think is where Calico like stands up, like wipes some grease off their hands, and like switches to another tool and is like, I know you will be. I just hope it's not too late.
Oh, God. Okay.
All right. So go ahead. I think that explains why you took 2 stress from that, Calico. So.
Oh, God.
Relationship repair.
Relationship. And then they had ice cream, and they were best friends forever.
Everything's fine.
Everything was fine forever, and nothing was bad ever again between Ko and Calico.
So switching back to the present,
yeah,
now I
roll
gotta
them.
rig this thing to be a directional EMP.
Yeah, well, it's already theoretically that was you guys rigging it to be the directional EMP. Now we're gonna find out how good of a job you did.
All right, action roll, engineer.
Wait, now hold on. Before we click it, let's make sure we know like what our position and effect and stuff is. So that was you getting help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is an engineer, so you start at 1 for this. This is against Goliath's systems directly, so it's starting at risky none.
Risky.
And then, Lauren, I believe you have 2 ticks with
I have 2 beliefs.
Beliefs.
With Nakoa. Yes.
Right. So then what 2 benefits are you giving to Koa?
So improve position for sure.
Okay.
100%. Wait, position.
Wait, no. Don't you mean effect?
Sorry, effect, yes.
Okay. So
Yes,
now you're
effect
at risky.
is what I meant.
So now you're 1D risky limited.
1D, risky limited. Got it.
And then in typical Calico fashion, I think, this is an extra die, right? Like,
Yep.
whatever aid Calico was providing then, they already saw what that die roll is.
Right.
We don't know what it is yet. Calico contributed something from the prediction pool off screen.
Right.
So whatever you
Okay.
roll is what that was.
So
I
give
feel
your,
that feels appropriate.
I hear what you're saying. So JPG, you're coming into this now with 2 dice risky limited. And you can still like push yourself, etc.
I want to push myself, but should I get it to risky standard?
I can't tell you what you...
Or should I try for the 3rd die?
I don't know. Because
the 3rd die would give me 1 out of 6. I'm gonna try the 3rd die. I'm gonna push myself for the 3rd die.
Cool. And if you want that standard effect, you could,
Yeah, what do you want to give me?
drop to desperate. Oh yeah, I could also give you a collateral here, right?
What do you want to give me?
Collateral is that if you take the collateral die, the remote clicker you have for this won't work, and Cole will need to set off the EMP from inside the suit.
I'm 100% taking that.
All right, so that would get you up to 4d6. Do you want to change your push yourself to get to
I want to change it from risky. So I'm going to change it to risky standard.
Okay, so risky standard 3d6. Do you want to drop to desperate great?
God, I kind of do.
All right, I was gonna say you're not gonna die if you keep saying no to desperate.
Yeah. Okay, so desperate, and then great, and then 3d6. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's a 1, and a 2. So good job, Koa.
Koa, buddy. All right, first go ahead and mark 2 stress.
Thanks
for pushing yourself.
Thanks for reminding me. Peace. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. You're inside of the mech to set off this directional EMP, and it doesn't work at all. The tactician's slate gets blasted apart by the drones. With you inside of it, you are going to take the level 3 harm. Destroyed. You are destroyed. You have been destroyed.
That's fair.
Would you like to resist this harm?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is a prowess resist. So you would reduce that harm down to level 1, rushed with death, I think is what we would call that level 1 harm.
Oh, it's a prowess one, not an insight one, because I use engineer.
Well, it's about like what the consequence here is.
What the consequence is.
You're trying to get away from. I guess, yeah. You know what? Insight makes sense because if you maybe at the last second you see that it's about to mess up, you
could I make a resolve argument?
Absolutely not. Okay. All right, so drop that level 1 harm down, or that level 3 harm down to level 1. We'll call it shaken by your brush with death, and roll 2d to find out how many stress you take in the process of that.
3?
3. So you're going to take three stress. Okay, that's bad. That's bad. So y'all see Koa jump into his mech and run it into the middle of these drones, and then you hear a charge up sound, like a dwee, and then do, and nothing happens. The mech gets ripped apart by this man-sized drone gang, and Koa gets tossed to the floor and looking really, really shaken up. Who wants to do something else? That didn't go very well for Pops.
It's a
roll 6. Roll 6 is a never die.
I mean, I didn't die.
Yeah.
Give me that at least, right?
That's true.
Good for you.
Game's not over yet. Yeah, who's taking action next?
Is there anything in my situation that demands action? I feel like I'm still kind of holding the line.
I thought that when the ship had crashed through into the artist alley, that you had kind of come in with it since the whole.
Oh, okay. I mean, I hadn't rolled anything, so it seemed like
I'm sorry.
I kind of stepped to the side, and Koa just slammed the ship in through the artist alley.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I'm saying like, but now that Koa has done that, I think it's like widened the hole, right, so that you can get in to the big open main hall of the con through like. You're entering the scene now, right? Like you can come in through behind.
Which I have to imagine this. All of a sudden, there's fighting. All these drones are blowing up. There's a bunch of shit going on. A spaceship slams into Artist Alley. Things start getting destroyed and lighting on fire. And then an enormous walking mausoleum just pushes its way in.
Yeah,
has got to be utterly terrifying.
Yeah, I agree. I would be scared. What are you going to do about these drones without killing all of the civilians in here?
Yeah. Okay, so quick rundown on the situation with the drones. Like, where are we at?
They are person-sized drones. They have been menacing the crowd. They're sort of putting themselves between the crowd and the spaceship so that they can't, get on to evacuate. And the tactician slate just sort of ran into them and then shut down and got ripped apart. So their attention has sort of been temporarily taken away and is kind of focused on Koa's mech for a moment. You know what I mean? They kind of grouped up there for a second. So like there is sort of a golden opportunity for like, a shot of some sort.
Yeah, the problem is that the final act of Time and Reason has 2 weapons right now, a rack of missiles and a directed energy weapon.
Well, I guess you gotta just be extra careful with that directed energy weapon, huh?
I do think, rather, instead of that, I do have a shield or force field, pilot-directed thick alloy plating.
Oh, okay.
And we've kind of seen it used in this way before, in that it's big enough, Calico can use it to sort of block off lots of directions, and he's even walked behind it before. So I think what he does is takes advantage of the fact that they're all in kind of one spot
and
to zoom in,
trap them under the
not so much
field?
Trap them as provide a massive amount of cover for these people who want to run to the ship,
run past them. Okay, sure.
If they're all in one place, Calico's going to slam that shield down to give people cover. I mean, it's huge, right? This shield alone is 30 to 40 feet tall, so if he lays it down sideways, kind of crouches down, that is a good run for people to be able to go behind to get to the ship.
Absolutely. That sounds to me more like a maneuver or a manipulate to me.
Yeah, when you manipulate, you definitely move things with your vehicle. You might remove a primed warhead from a missile. You might pick up a baby in its carriage. You could reattach a damaged arm, but engineer might be better. And the maneuver, you move your vehicle with skill and agility. You might creep across.
I would say the way you framed it, it sounded more like maneuver to me.
Yeah, because I don't think this is a delicate situation.
No,
this is I'm going to get in there
slamming
quick,
your body
and I'm
going to
slam this down
at the right time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll roll a maneuver here. Hey, guess what? I have 2
you
maneuver.
have to use.
I'll use a 5. I want to save that 6.
Okay.
But I will use a 5 here.
Okay.
What's my position?
So you are acting against these drones, trying to block them off from the civilians. So you're starting at risky, no effect.
Risky, no effect. I mean, I'll drop that into desperate to get some effect for sure. The shield, I assume, is what lets me do this in the first place.
Right. So you're out now at desperate limited, and you've taken a 5.
It's not even taking a 5. I'm getting a 5.
Right.
I'm exhausted, so I have -1 die anyways. The 5 is the only thing that comes up. It's gonna be a 5.
-1 die for your.
Yeah. My damage. So I'm just straight up, it's going to be a 5 regardless.
Wait, is that a damage or is that a harm? That's a damage on your mech, right?
Oh, it's supposed to be a harm. I wrote it in the wrong spot.
This is a mech maneuver, so I'm not.
So I actually don't have that -1. You were correct.
So you would be at 2.
I mean, maybe the final act of Time and Reason is exhausted.
Maybe. Are you pushing yourself?
I can't push myself.
You could. You would just be at.
You would get a stress.
Yeah.
anything more than that, and I'm gonna have to
do dire actions and stuff.
Dire actions.
This is the last mission.
Yeah, but I'm not super solid on whether or not those dire actions are gonna work. I have a thing here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So not pushing yourself. No one's helping you.
You know what? I will push myself actually.
Oh.
I'll take that 2 stress. I'll push myself, and I'll use that to increase my effect up to standard.
Okay.
I don't think I'm getting help here. It doesn't seem like anyone is in a position to do so.
So I couldn't help you?
Well, I think you could. Tell me
I
how.
can help.
Especially because you're an officer. You got the fucking...
Oh yeah, if you got abilities and stuff,
So I have Tactical Genius, 2 times per mission. You can assist a squad mate without paying stress. Tell us how you prepared for this. So what? Okay, so this is against the... I'm sorry, Are we using the weapon, the directional weapon, in order to...
No, we're using the
shield.
force field to block the drones from being able to get to the people.
Okay.
And it's also not a force field, just to be clear. It is a physical
actual
giant shield.
It's the
You can see
giant
it on
shield
the
that's...
art.
Yeah, I'm going to zoom in on it so that I'm looking at it.
While we were working on the Avi, on the tactician slate to make it a directional EMP, could we have had some extra pieces left over in order to place on Calico's shield?
Sure.
In what regard? It's already a giant slab of metal. What are we adding to it? And also, there is a degree there that I don't know that I necessarily want, this thing is a giant religious artifact.
Yeah.
So, keep that in mind. If we're modifying it in some way, Calico would have to be respectful of that.
Right.
Which is fine. That should color any modifications that are made.
Right.
There are no temples or anything like that in the area, is there?
In the convention center? I don't think so.
No, I meant outside.
None dedicated to... He's the last priest of a dead religion.
Right. And also, there's not even any myriad squads here,
Yeah. So I think the only thing that I could think of is one of the ways in which the final act of Time and Reason has been depicted is its palimpsest armor. It's constantly been built on top of itself, and if there was if we put another layer on the shield that was another motif, another something, and when all those drones start lasering or slamming into it, they're just scratching that layer off.
Oh,
would be pretty sick.
Okay, there we go.
I really like that. Yes.
Let's take it. All right, so what benefit are you giving for helping, Koa? You only got 1 belief about Calico right now.
Yeah, I only have 1 belief. So I can give 1.
So you want to give a die, or what are you at right now? Desperate Standard, 2d6?
Yeah, Desperate Standard, 2d6.
And one of those 2d6 is a 5.
Is a 5, yes.
What about Desperate Great?
Yeah, I love Desperate Great.
We
all
Desperate love
Great.
Desperate Great. Okay.
Calico just dramatically under fire. Love that.
Yeah. All right. Well, give me a roll. Do you want a collateral, or am I off the hook?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. I'm no good at coming up with those.
Okay, so I rolled a 3, but
3 and
get
a 5.
a 5.
Yeah, so you're going to get 1 desperate consequence and great effect. So the drones are bamboozled for the moment, although, because it is a shield, they can go around it, right? So the still got to be dealt with in some other way before we can really get those civilians onto the ship. But you're going to take a consequence here. Straightforward, level 3 damage for the final act of Time and Reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend some quirks to negate that.
Okay, all right. This would be an expertise, I think, thing. So you would have to spend 2 quirks to resist this down to a level 1 damage.
So first is palimpsest chassis.
You already invoked the palimpsest chassis.
Yeah, we're using that here for sure.
And then what? Built to last?
Built to last to me is less about it being durable and more about, I think about a power supply that I bought when I built my first computer when I was in high school that I only just replaced in 2020 because it was so good. There was nothing else on the market that beat it.
Right,
It's more in that sense of like this thing
like
is
you future-proofed it.
Yes, the M&B Psychopomp Custom, which is the vehicle manufacturer and model here, this thing is future-proofed. It's designed to be like you'll always be able to repair it. So I don't know if it's like durable. But
yeah, so which quirk are we expending for that second?
Walking Saint doesn't feel right here, although I've never used that one.
Yeah.
But Distractingly Ornate kind of does.
Okay.
I think, like, what if it's this moment where it's like the drones, whatever a thing they're operating on, are like, okay, thing is in the way.
Oh, but they get distracted by all the
that's
faces
a building.
on the... Yeah, I see.
Wait, are those people? Nope, those are just extremely detailed reliefs.
Okay.
It's
messing
like,
with their targeting, all of the extremely
completely
detailed stuff on your shield.
So I will burn Distractingly Ornate and Palimpsest Chassis.
Cool. Take the level 1 damage. Busted.
Busted
makes me feel good.
Hell yeah. All right, somebody else do something. We got 2 more clocks to fill before y'all can get out of here.
Can we get a reminder of those clocks?
So, if you try to fill the civilians evacuated the ship clock before the drone clock fills, civilians will die. If you take care of the drone's clock first, civilians will not die. Hopefully. Those are the 2 that you need to get filled up. Our drones
What's
and
the drone?
Civilians evacuated the ship. The drones are person-sized Avi Gunpla that are robotic kill drones.
But what is the clock?
It's a 6-step clock.
And it's at 0?
It's right here up here. It's right here on the Roll20.
Gotcha. I have a big dramatic thing that I want to do, but it will be my final action.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Ominous.
My plan is to lean into the fact that I already have some of the bugs in me.
Okay.
And I want to call all of the bugs to me.
Okay. Yeah.
I am going to do a big dramatic thing to bring all the bugs here. Hopefully the bugs will fuck up the drones. But I'm basically going to fake my own death here.
Okay. You want to use the swarm. Okay. How? All right. We can get into we can get into the hows and wherefores of like how you actually escaped later in your epilogue.
Yeah. Also, like I'm going to stress out on this action, so I'm just going to disappear from the scene anyways.
Yeah. That's smart. Oh, speaking of which, Calico, I do real quick. I have to resolve this. You're at full stress. Are you withdrawing and taking a scar, or are you remaining on the board and taking dire actions?
Oh, dire actions.
Okay, cool. All right, so now, sorry, Devin. Yes, you absolutely can push yourself to scar out. What action are you taking though? Calling the bugs to you. I think that's
I'm doing like the hacking equivalent of like covering something in sugar so that a bunch of ants go to it.
I get it. So you're doing basically an interface, and you'd be starting at desperate nothing.
I'm desperate none on my own bugs.
Yeah. Because these are bugs that Goliath has, these are part of Goliath's subsystems right now. Right?
Gotcha.
I mean, I think you can do this. I think it makes sense. I'll even say if you can get like a great success against the bugs, we'll make it into a 3-step clock instead of a 4. I'll tick it once. Just for
the problem is that I don't really have the resources to
doing the affinity with the bugs. Somebody's gonna have to help you, I guess.
I'm gonna help. I'll help for sure.
Do you have any fine equipment you can bring to bear on this? You have your fine augmented reality tool.
I also have a fine retrieval program, and a retrieval program brings data,
exactly
acquires
like
data.
What you would want. Yes.
Yeah, I'm retrieving all my bugs.
There you go. All right. So starting with the fine equipment puts you at desperate limited to start instead of desperate nothing. So that's good.
And I push myself to get to desperate standard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm just because I can, I'm making a big dramatic lightning bolt.
Yeah, from Tesla.
What my move does.
Sure. Okay. Absolutely.
I'm trying to like look like I'm going out like a fucking crazy bomb, basically.
Yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're laying down.
And then I'm getting help from Winter, right?
From Winter, yeah.
Yeah, and I give you 2 help.
Yeah. So
cool. Buds.
And what do you want to give them? I guess definitely effect, right? And then do you want a die or do you want to improve their position?
I'll probably get the die.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, what does that get us up to? 3d6 Desperate Great?
4d6 Desperate Great.
4d6 Desperate Great. Okay. Do you want collateral or... I don't think you want collateral here. There will be a recording of this on the con systems, and so if anyone thinks to look, they'll be able to find out that you're not dead, and you'd be kind of banking on the fact that no one's going to look. Does that make sense?
The only person that knows I'm not dead here is Adelaide.
Right. But do you want to take it, or
we already conspired off screen?
Yeah.
Word? Do you want to take that collateral?
We conspired on screen last time. Sorry,
you did. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool. Then go ahead and roll them bones.
5.
5.
Okay.
5, 2, 3, 3. My dice have been wild tonight. It's been like 1, 6 and then a bunch of bad dice every time. 1, 5 and then a bunch of bad dice.
Okay. Desperate Great. I'm gonna say, here's the thing. We're going to go ahead and take this.
I scar out, obviously.
This will take care of the drones and the bugs. You will scar out. So tell me what your new scar is, I guess.
It's gonna be haunted.
And you're withdrawing from the scene. Yeah.
I'm haunted by the fact that I have
abandoned your friends.
You know, put this trauma on all of my friends.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, we all think you're dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty fucked up.
You do successfully slip away in all of this confusion, but you don't do so unscathed. You're going to take a level 3 harm. I think you got electrified by all of that lightning you were throwing around.
Is this the place where I can use my free resistance against bugs from the crit that I got at the beginning of the game that I haven't been able to utilize?
I'll let you do that and drop that down to a level 1 harm so that you're going to take the level 1 harm crispy and I'm
going to mark an armor.
Okay, yeah, mark an armor.
Oh, shit. Oh, your long hair got burned off. Sorry, bro.
I mean, yeah. I think I have to cut my hair off. I think I have to cut my hair off. It's one of my most distinctive things.
By the lightning. There you go.
Well, I'm getting off the planet with like a fake ID anyway, so I don't want to be recognizable.
That's an unresistible consequence. Is that Edrian loses their beautiful hair.
Oh God.
Level 1 harm shorn.
Level 1 harm shorn.
Oh my God.
That's fucking good.
Winter, right. you see me do this right in front of you. How do you react?
Yeah, Winter, you watch Edrian explode and die. How do you feel?
Really, really bad. Let's get these civilians off the ship.
The drones are fucked though.
You know.
Yeah. Do you like scream? So are you like no? You know, is there an emotional reaction?
This is one of the few times. You know, it doesn't happen very often that all of Winter's bodies sync up. You know, so even the ones who aren't seeing it live, you know, they're getting it through the network thing we have, all scream at once. And it's just so it's all over this whole area because I've dropped off some bodies in different spots, you know. There's just this scream that goes out.
Damn. All right. That's it. All right, Winter, see if you can bring these civilians on home.
We got this. We still have oh no, there's no more prediction. There's prediction die,
but no more omens, so you can't use them. Yep.
Okay. That's all right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Can you push yourself when you don't have any stress to spend for dire actions? I don't think so, right?
No, you can't. You can't push yourself for dire actions, but you can get help, I think.
Wait.
But dire actions already ignore all of your harm.
Yeah, so what I was saying is if you really, really need one, Harbinger allows me to... Oh, I did push myself. When I took that last action, I can declare another omen thanks to Harbinger.
Where does it say?
Oh, sorry, Sudden Prophecy. Sudden Prophecy allows me to declare
when you push yourself, in addition to the normal benefits, you may mark a foe with misfortune, declare an omen as if you had the Harbinger ability, or ask the GM a question they must answer truthfully. Oh, okay. Yeah, you did push yourself last time. So if you want to declare an omen...
Let me give you a quick omen here, if that's what you were looking for. Did you want to use one of my 6 or my last 6?
I mean, I think it's a really good idea. now.
That'll finish it off.
To get everybody safe.
Yeah.
Let me give you an omen.
Cook up an omen
then.
for us here. Using that incredible omen generator, your brain.
Okay, here, I've got a falling tower, cracked church bells striking the ground.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
So do we see that?
Can I abstract that just to
Yeah.
what just happened to Adrian?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the omen is we all think Edrian's dead. That's
So
the omen.
you're getting people out of here, right, Winter?
Yeah.
Is this more of a command or a consort or a sway, or is it something else?
I think this is like a continuation of what I've been doing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm continuing to use my network that's here.
So you're continuing
And,
to
I'm relaying,
consort.
okay, the drones are down.
Yeah.
The drones are down. It's safe to get people onto the ship now.
Yeah,
I
the drones are
probably
down, let's
called out
move
a halt
people.
earlier.
Sure.
That's kind of like what I'm thinking. So
I'm hearing it. All right, so then you're starting at 3 dice. Then this is against Calaz Clash, not against Goliath. So this one starts at risky limited. What do we do?
okay, I need to push myself to get at least up to risky standard, and then I'm going to change my risky to desperate standard.
Desperate standard. Okay.
Or desperate great, I mean.
Desperate.
Let's just get it done.
Because you pushed your... Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. You're still at 3d6 though, right?
Yeah, I'll roll them. We have a 6, so I could crit.
Right. Is anybody even in a position to help you? Koa, do you want to help with this?
Am I in a position to help with this?
You could... I think so. You made it away from your mech before it got destroyed, so... you could. I think you could help Winter, and you just saw these drones get disabled by Edrian's heroic sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think you definitely could help usher civilians on board to the ship, or you could help by getting up, into the cockpit and being ready to take off as soon as you get the signal, right?
And I do.
There are many ways to help. There are many doors.
Her tactical genius. Because I have the second. Would be the second time in a mission that I can assist a squad mate, so I wouldn't have to spend stress.
You could, you
could. So
yeah.
I would say that I left the engines running and I'm ready to just take everyone out of here.
Okay.
So you're lending me a dice, I guess.
Yeah, what would you like?
Well, I'm at desperate great with a guaranteed 6, so I think another dice is cool.
Okay, let's do it.
Peace.
See.
If we crit, what do you have any idea what you'll give us out of that?
Nope. I'll find out.
Cool.
If you roll, we gotta play to find out what happens. See, you don't have to worry about it.
It's not a 6 anyway. So yeah. So we got a 6.
So you got everybody onto this ship. Do you just gun it now, or what's the exit strategy here?
I think so, right? Maybe a few of my little dudes of my bodies hang back just to make sure we're not being pursued, and if we are, we engage. If we're not,
then they'll find their way home if they have to.
Yeah.
Okay. You feel 2 of Deus's bodies outside die as they get shot down by the station's defenses. Who's actually at the wheels here? I know that it was Koa. I guess it's still Koa, right?
It'd have to be me, right?
Yeah. Calico, you can, I will say, since there's not really actions left to do, if you do want to withdraw for the scar, I'll still let you do it, because you haven't actually acted yet, right? I do need, I need some sort of, I feel like I need one more roll to, bring us home, a maneuver to get the ship actually out of here without getting destroyed,
I'm happy to be a vanguard, so to speak.
Sure.
Real
as part of that.
quick.
Yes,
I
Lauren.
am spending my spark to re-roll my fortune pool, or my prediction pool.
Oh. We're always ready?
22654. All right, cool. I get at least one more action if need be.
Okay, nice. Or, it doesn't necessarily have to be Koa behind the wheel making the roll. It could be Calico.
Yeah, please,
blasting
please don't.
Blasting an opening or something. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
please do not have me pilot this out.
Here's what I think is happening. I have a thing for this if you're cool with it.
Yeah, please, hit me.
All the civilians are loaded on board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Calico just grabs it. Just takes is gonna, as the final act of Time and Reason, which is huge.
They're gonna Superman this thing.
Just attempts to guide it. I mean, obviously, it's probably gonna fly under its own power a little bit, but
you're just gonna pick it up and drag it out of here.
I've got a mobility suite. I got a good maneuver, and I am a very big vehicle.
Yeah. Okay. So you're maneuvering with this. This is a dire action. 2d6 desperate. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just call this one. There's no effect. Doesn't matter on this roll. You just need a success.
And I get a 6. So
yeah, that's true.
Let me. I do still have to roll the other die because it might be a critical.
It could.
We'd love it.
What's position? Desperate,
risky. Yeah. We actually haven't had anything that's permanent. You know what? No, I do think it's desperate. I feel like the situation has gotten pretty out of hand.
So I get the 6.
Yeah. You successfully have done it. I mean, y'all did it. You've flown out of the war zone with the civilians. It's a PR win for you. Somehow Koa managed to live. Adrian, quote, heavy air quotes, died. And I guess we'll do epilogues next time.
Can I have one last thing?
Yeah, please.
So I said at the beginning of the mission that I put like a little like OS into all of your vehicles.
Yes.
Oh, I left a little message in there.
You didn't.
I basically do like the Princess Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope thing and make like a little like hologram of myself. And this is the most like earnest you've ever seen Adrian. Adrian's really like cold and calculated and like kind of quiet and like lurks in the corner often. Like you haven't heard Adrian say a lot in your time knowing them, despite like, how passionate and fiery they are as like a person. So it's kind of almost like unsettling to like hear my voice so like earnest and emotional. But I say, thank you, comrades, for standing with me and never letting the bastards own you. Even though I cannot fight by your side any longer, I know you'll continue to do what is right and to fight for the powerless. I love you and I believe in you, and make sure to call Havoc a dweeb for me.
Damn. How do each of the three of you react to that message?
I am personally, I'm still at the helm and I'm just like fighting through tears. It is a physical struggle to fight through these tears.
Yeah.
Winter, I think it varies body by body, but generally there's not much struggling happening. It's just tears. Because there was nothing in that message that was like, yo guys, don't worry, I'm alive. It's just like, keep fighting the good fight, y'all.
Be upset.
It's like, okay, so Adrian knew going into this that they were probably going to die. Okay, God. And that's I think that's what it feels like to Winter.
I mean, I bet there is like a sense of doubt in all of you though. Like, I didn't give a shit about this cause. Like, you wouldn't expect me to be the type of person to like die for the DFS.
That's true.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's still like the emotion is still like hitting Winter. Is like we can process that part later. Like I think the investigative mind will turn on later for Winter, but right now it's like this sucks.
Koa's not smart enough because Adrian specifically said I love you, and he's just a mess right now.
On my side, on Calico's side, I think it's the whole cockpit shaking. There's like all sorts of little. We've talked about it being like little knickknacks and like very Catholic trinkety things all over the place. Kind of maximalism inside this cockpit. There's all sorts of warning lights going off. It's like load limit exceeded, just blinking on the screen. And after seeing the message, I think Calico like smiles and says, I don't have anything that's not lame. Something to the effect of like keep flying, keep going kind of thing that he just kind of like whispers to himself. But there is one of those like trinkets that's like hanging around the cockpit is a like a domino on a cord. And he doesn't look at that because his connection with Edrian has been Weaver is more interested in setting up the dominoes than knocking them down.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at cvblight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, all glory to Calazar.